All windows are closed everywhere, no?
Yes.
Just give me a nice water bottle, no, please.
Cold one?
No, that's fine.
You don't want cold?
No. Thank you. I'm going to unmute soon. Okay, a warm welcome to everyone today. How is everybody doing? Can we see some faces and get some introductions? Come on. Yes, hello, Mr. James. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. But I wasn't sure now if this forum is for men also or only for women. I was not sure.
That's okay. We are a women entrepreneurship platform org, but we have had male entrepreneurs, male members join us before. So welcome to you. And do you want to very quickly share what you are doing and what you're building right now?
Well, we are an NGO that runs about 12 schools across
Recording
Bangalore,
stopped.
Hyderabad, Goa, Coorg.
Recording
Major
in
work is
progress.
Bangalore. We take children at age 3 from the slums and we keep them for 3 years with us.
Okay.
And from age 3 to 6. And we give them a very fantastic foundation in English language, math, science, Kannada. And also they have breakfast and lunch with us, so that means the nutrition is taken care of. Yeah, and then we have another vertical when they finish our kindergarten, they go to grade 1 to we just
Great.
find another school close by. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining in. We will be sharing feedback link also at the end. Would love for you to share and be in touch with us. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? Any women entrepreneurs who are from the community or who are new to the community want to introduce yourselves?
I have been part of WE group since a long time, but it's because of the organizations I work with. I work in the social sector. It's been now almost more than 10 years that I've started working in social media. Today I'm representing Shop for Change Fairtrade, and we work with tribal farmers on various social issues, mostly for their livelihood and income generation.
Great. Welcome and thank you for joining us here today. Is this your first session? You didn't give us your name.
Yes. So sorry. Yeah, I'm Deepa Haqqani, and yes, this is my first session.
Okay, so because it's a fundraise session for social impact, you've come in very bad. We want to see you on the platform, on the community. I will share how to log in and how to post, how to access information, access MSME grants, access mentorship platform. All of these will be sharing very soon. We have so anyone else, anyone new who wants to introduce, but thank you for coming here. Yes, good to have you and hope to see you every time now.
Sydney here, can I?
Simi, we will be, is it an introduction? We've heard you. We have some new faces here today. Thank you though, Simi, and thank you for coming in. Yes, hi Kopula, welcome. You're new to this platform and this workshop, right?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
So this is Vasundhara Kopula. I'm from Hyderabad. We have a Section 8 company, Putimpu Foundation. Under Putimpu Foundation, we are working in 5 verticals: education, employment, entrepreneurship, health, and assisted technology. We are majorly focusing on persons with disabilities and also marginalized community, LGBTQ people also. So the
Deepu, close the door.
Yeah, we are running one incubator, D Hub, different entrepreneurs hub. Through that, we are giving training programs to the PWD into the main pre-incubation, incubation, acceleration. So it's purely entrepreneurship related, not livelihood. We finished our first cohort with five people, beneficiaries. They're going to start their ventures into adaptive clothing, food truck businesses, e-commerce website, digital channel like that. So and we are raising the funds for their scholarships and supporting their businesses.
Okay, great,
These
great.
are the
Yeah, which state you said? Which city and state?
Hyderabad from Telangana.
Hyderabad and Telangana. Okay, great, great, great. Welcome, welcome, Vasundhara. Thank you for joining in today. And are you a member of WEP?
No, I received this mail today.
You have registered on the for the workshop today, and you got the email, correct?
Yes,
Okay, okay.
yes.
Okay, we will be sharing the web link also very soon, and you can join the platform because we have a lot of women entrepreneurs who are doing things like you are, and we would love to have all of you active there so you can support each other, learn from each other, and collaborate wherever possible.
So apart from this, I have a event management company. Since 12 years, I am running this company.
Okay, okay, great, great, great to have you here. Please, whoever we've missed, please do introduce yourselves in the chat window with your name, your business name, and your website and which city you are from. Because of the lack of time, we want to take questions at the end, and we have the speaker in house already. Also, let us give a very, very warm welcome to Bhagyashree ma'am. She's here today. Thank you very, very much for joining us and for doing this much awaited session today, ma'am. We are very excited to have you, and this has been a question that has come to many of us who are building social impact orgs, social NGOs who are running things in the social space itself as to how to fundraise, how to align our mission, our goal, our vision of our org with the funder, with the org that we are looking to seek to partner and sponsor. So thank you very much for doing this today. A very quick introduction to Bhagyashree ma'am. Ms. Bhagyashree Lodha is a CSR and a fundraising consultant based in Mumbai with expertise in strategy, program management, and partnerships. Her work focuses on stakeholder engagement, fundraising, and driving large scale social impact. Ms. Bhagyashree has successfully mobilized significant funds for NGOs and worked with leading CSR organizations like LTPCT, Capgemini, DHL, Bain and Company, BPCL, WPP, DBCPL, Vestas, Oziva, as well as with organizations like Pratham Infotech Foundation, Magic Bus India Foundation, Arpan, and MMC. Thank you very, very much for coming in here today. Please, in the chat window, do welcome ma'am very nicely. We want the traditional web warm welcome that we do for all our speakers coming in there. And we can start with a very quick self introduction, ma'am, and then I can run a poll. So the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Madhavi. You don't have to call me ma'am. You can.
It's for all the mentees here, actually.
No, it's perfectly fine. You can call me by my name. So I think you've given the introduction. So if we can start. If there's any poll, you can put up that poll, and we can start immediately. I don't want to lose out the time
Sure.
on giving my introduction.
Sure. So we've launched the poll. Please answer all the 5 questions here. So Bhagyashree will be curating it a little bit to you and your org when she's speaking next. So we want everyone to answer this poll, please. It will help us also curate the content today and future. Yes, whoever is joining in new, please, you can see the poll on your screen. Please do participate in the poll. Okay, 77% participation. We want more responses. Once you've responded to the poll, please do introduce yourself in the chat window with your name, your business name, the city you are from, and your website if you have one. Okay, almost there. We're waiting for a few more people. Last 30 seconds, the poll is open. Okay, great. Thank you all for answering. Any more? Okay, we're ending the poll now. Yes, please don't leave personal phone numbers and emails in the chat window because this goes out to a lot of folks who've registered and the chat also leaks out. So please don't, request you all not to share any personal email and phone numbers in the chat window. Okay, so we can see that most of them are just starting to explore fundraising, number one. Number two, most of them, 53% are NGOs and not-profits today. But we do have some startups and businesses as well. And registered on the web platform, 71% are not. So we will, especially for the women here, we will definitely invite you to join the platform because this is where we're going to be running such sessions and you will know about them first. And 26% of them are active members. Okay, never logged in, and weekly is the second most. Yes, we want you to log in a little more. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing this today. And we are just closing this. Okay, on to you, Bhagyashree. This is your floor. And yes, looking forward to a very insightful session. Some rules of hygiene here for everyone attending today. Please let's respect each other's time and let us keep all our questions to the chat window. We will be scrolling up and asking Bhagyashree towards the end, number one. Number two is please do take notes and please do not unmute yourself and ask questions anytime. So we'll be taking all of you, taking your questions towards the end. Okay. Hassan, if you are going to be doing this, we'll have to take you off the room itself. Okay. So please stop. None of these things are allowed, right? This is why we are maintaining a woman only workshop, but this time we've opened it to male folks also, so you can benefit from the information, the knowledge, the skills that we shared. So please respect that. Thank you so much. Okay, it's all yours. Up to you now, Bhagyashree. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So give me a second and let me know if you all can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay. So I think Madhuri has already given my introduction, so I will quickly start about what are we going to cover today. So what are the various fundraising options and avenues for organizations who are raising funds in the social impact space? Pitching with purpose is in how are you pitching to the respective funders on the other side, right? So there are various strategies that one needs to make sure and have to start implementing from day one. Roadmap to start fundraising, we'll also see, as you know, if you're in at this initial inception stage, so what could be the fundraising avenues for you? What are the things that you could take care while applying to respective uh, funders or grant giving organizations? So quickly, let's just get into all the details. So I have kept the PPT very simple, just to the point and not in heavy, because I would want you to focus more on what I'm speaking, and I'll be sharing resources with Madhvi, and I think Madhvi then will be sharing it with all of you, which will have kind of details in terms of what are the foundations I'll be sharing the list of foundations where you can reach out to. Uh, what are the CSR, the companies who are giving out CSR? What are the other employee volunteering agencies that you can get in touch with for employee volunteering? So most of the resources that I'll be talking about will be shared with you. So kindly I would ask and request everybody's attention on the presentation and to what I'm speaking. So these are multiple fundraising options which one can follow and apply for. We often, I have seen a lot of organizations struggling with fundraising because they mostly depend on only a couple of fundraising avenues. And because of that, their survival gets difficult. Like for example, we've seen during COVID, because of the shutdown of a lot of operations or companies' operations, or diversifying the funds towards PM Care Fund, a lot of NGOs didn't have any funds to survive themselves, and that's where we've seen that a lot of organization has to shut down their operation even if they were doing great work and they had good funding coming in from their respective funders, but those were because of couple of avenues they had to shut down because of the reasons that they had to the funders had to divert their funding to PM Care Fund or other, or maybe because they were losing out on their profit margins, on the profits during pandemic. And also, like with the example when FCRA was shut down for a lot of organization because they were not being able to raise funds to foreign organization, they had to again shut down their operations. So because of that, I think as an organization, since they're doing great work at the grassroots, at the ground level, we need to be also prepared in terms of, that our funding cycle, funding pipeline is very clear for us, and we don't have to worry about what next funds or what will be the next fundraising option that we should look into. So as a founder of an organization, one needs to make sure that we have at least 4 avenues for raising funds. It could depend, the avenues of funding could depend on the organization, their operations, their geographic location, and what are the thematics that they're working into. So CSR funds, we all know that it is coming from corporates who has a mandate of 2% of their funding for the social impact. Individual donors, we all know that there are a lot of high net individuals, ultra high net individuals who have, enough of them who can give back and who have the motivation and dedication to give back to the society. So one needs to tap into those grant giving foundations. Again, these are national and international foundations who are giving out funds for respective thematics, locations, and beneficiaries. So you will have to do a bit of research in terms of what are these foundations. But anyways, I'll share I think around 80 to 100 list of foundations with Madhvi, and she will share it across. Um, there are a lot of foundations who keep on giving out, or keep on announcing various RFPs. And as an organization, you need to be on your toes in terms of keep all the foundations website bookmarked so that you do not miss out on the RFP announcements. And as soon as it comes, you can start working on it and start applying, because there are a lot of grants that one organizations are getting based on the RFPs. Crowdfunding platforms, these are like you can create your account on Decode, India, Mila. So these are few crowdfunding platforms that one could take into consideration. Incomes, earned income streams. So basically, there are a lot of organizations who are very active, for example, women empowerment or vocational training, or on giving out trainings on say designing or making handmade bags, or creating products out of waste, right? So one could put up a stall at a company during any occasion and start an course. It could also, you can also create gifting options out of it. There are a lot of organizations who are doing great in capacity building, because of the curriculum developed, designed, tested, and assessed. That could be one of the source where organizations are giving trainings to other organizations, right? Um, Very important that a lot of organizations have yet not tapped into our family foundations. So, like corporates have a mandate of CSR, as in giving out 2% of the funding. Similarly, there are families who have enough network with them, with which they would want to, a part of it, what they would want to give out to organizations who are doing great work at the grassroots and they would want to partner with. So one needs to tap into them based on your location. You have to figure out and find out what are the foundations that are being, but mostly their focus is into giving back to the community that they belong to. Right, so you will have to do a bit of research on that, and what are the families that are there in your locality who have made it, and they could they would be interested to give back. That is one. And the last one is employee volunteering. Employee volunteering has been a trend which, where earlier it was only related to doing some painting works or kind of doing beach cleaning or waste segregation. But right now it has become more effective, and corporates have also started partnering with organizations who can give them interesting volunteering opportunities with them. And these employees just don't come and do volunteering or give out time for a couple of hours. They can also become your brand ambassadors about the work that you're doing at the organization, at the organizational level. They can go back to their HR or CSR and talk about the work that you're doing. And then for you, it gets easier to get in touch with the HR or CSR person in that company, asking for an appointment, for example. If you could, meet the CSR head, and because these employees have already given out good, word of mouth publicity for you, it will be easier for you to get a meeting with the CSR person, and because of that, you can speak to the CSR and see if there's the possibility of getting the funds for the work that you're doing, right? There are there are a few portals that one can register as an organization. Is I Volunteer, Connect for, United Way, Give, for example. You can register on all these platforms. Another one is Benefity, which gives you a lot of options other than volunteering. It includes payroll giving, volunteering with skills, They also help you in getting, there are a lot of other corporates who are registered there. So employee volunteering, payroll giving is something that they support you with. So I think these are the few fundraising options that one needs to tap into. And one more thing I have realized while doing fundraising, one needs to have a skill of doing research. So you need to be very well versed with the organization you're planning to pitch to, or maybe thinking of reaching out to. So thorough research about what is happening in the sector, what are the recent trends, what are the updates. So you need to be very updated about the recent changes, or join WhatsApp groups. There are a lot of WhatsApp groups that one could join. There's LinkedIn community that helps, right? Be very active on LinkedIn, where you can meet like-minded people. You can have an interaction in terms of what are the challenges that they're facing, how they've overcome it, how are they, designing or developing their fundraising strategies, right? So these are few fundraising options that I've discussed. Now, next, we will be talking about in two stages. Now, a lot of organizations struggle in terms of, we are at the initial stage of funding. Where do we get the funds from? I've got the questions that Mark shared. There are quite a few questions that, which is asking that we're at the ideation stage of the just a couple of years old organization. How do we and where do we raise funds from? And so for you,
Didi,
just put that
इसे कचरा
here
था
in the table format. So if you're at the ideation stage, for example, if you're planning to
उस साइड
start
कचरा
an
था
organization, the sources that you can tap into
क्या
is
बना रहे हो
obviously your friends and relatives, but apart from that, there are
क्यों
a lot of
मम्मी को
individuals
जाए ना म्यूजिक
that have, organizations that have
पूछ लो आएंगी ही
supporting you
वो
to,
बॉटल पता नहीं बॉटल पता
design,
नहीं
admin, building up
अगर जा रही है तो
strategies,
बोलो कि हम बाहर
helping
खाने
you
के लिए
setting
तैयार
up
हैं वो
your
कल बनाएंगे
business,
फिर
or also helping you in
जाके
designing
बता
or
दो
doing research work for your research oriented organization.
हाँ दूसरा था ना
So that could be
चलो
one
मुझे
option.
मीटिंग
HNI, a lot of tap into your network and ask them to create a buzz, or to share references if they know anyone, right? We often, when we are so focused about the work that we're doing, we often forget to tap into our own network who can help us in raising funds for the cause that you're doing, because these are the people who know you as a person, who know the kind of dedication and passion you bring to the sector. They would be more than happy to, maybe, if they can't help you with funds, they would be, maybe you can ask them if they could connect you with any of the individual who would be interested to support you. Again, crowdfunding, a lot of organizations are raising funds or have started their operations with crowdfunding. And the key requirement to start or have an at ideation, because it's very raw, is one need to be very good at basic budget is the need for all at all levels, but storytelling is something that triggers emotions, that evoke those emotional chords, which says that why you're doing what you're doing, what is your story, why have you started the organization, what was your experience behind it, what was your story, what was your journey, right? So these are when you speak to people, it's like a connect factor. A story is which where people connect with each other. Early operations, you have completed couple of years or 3 years maybe, then you can tap into CSR and small grants, where obviously the foundations that are giving out funds to do pilot. For example, they're setting I know a lot of foundations who are helping in setting up MNU software for you, or is helping you set up a dedicated team for respective operations that you would want to do, right? Or there are few firms, CA firms and legal firms, who are helping organizations for on pro bono basis or at very reasonable charges in terms of having their compliance documents in place, because that is the key requirement when you're reaching out for funds to CSR. Then scale ready, obviously, if you're looking at scaling your operations, now you have enough funds to run the admin and you can hire a good team, you can scale your operations, you've tested what you've done, that it's something that a lot, okay, it is something that is gaining a lot of traction in terms of need from the community and also interest from the funder. Then you are ready to scale. And obviously CSR foundations and government grants. There are a lot of government grants also that are available that you could apply to RFPs. So based on your thematic of the organization, you will have to get on government website and see if there are any RFPs that are asking for request to apply for. Metrics, how are you operating, what will be your operational model, what is your strategy, how are you going to sustain the program that you're implementing, how does your team look like, do you have enough experts in-house who can take or scale your operations, and what is your track record, how good were you in past, be it in terms of impact numbers or financial audits, your fund utilizations. So all of these talk about the work that you've been doing when even you are not there, right? So have all these things in place when you're looking at scaling your operations. Now, very important, pitch with purpose, because we are driven with purpose, driven with passion, dedication. You need to also talk about your story, as I mentioned. You have to be very clear. You don't have to use very technical terms, even if you have to. If you even if you have a one-page document which talks about the journey that you had, your experiences, what are you doing as an organization, right? So that is something that creates a winning pitch, because at the end of the day, it's story and humans love story. The ask, very important, is your pitch needs to be very clear in terms of what are you asking. Are you asking for a one-time grant, or a grant that is a longer duration of grant? Are you looking at intervention from the corporates as well in terms of their support, apart from grants as well, or do you have anything else which you can propose to them? For example, if there are any volunteering opportunities that you can propose to them. So your ask needs to be very clear. You don't have to, run around the bushes asking for, we are looking at this or that. Be very straight and clear in terms of what is your ask and why is something that you're asking. Supported with the impact that you've created, testimonials, case studies, very important. Case studies talk about the impact that you've created. If you can, afford creating a video that talks about the impact that you've created, where your beneficiaries are talking about the intervention that you've done, or your, past partners who have helped in terms of funders, grantees, or even HNIs. So that is something that you could be done. Even if you can't do it in a video format, you can do it in a text format and share it with them. The impact, again, very important. If I want to support you, or if I want to give out, say, for example, even 50 lakhs, I would want to know, are you capable enough to do that? Or do you have expertise to do that? So your impact, the numbers that you've achieved, these stories, the impact is not only in quantity, it is also quality. Like, for example, with our intervention, so there is an organization working in education, just putting an example, where with their intervention, the dropout rate in school has decreased by maybe say 25 to 30% in this academic year. So this is the impact that you're creating. Apart from obviously the number of beneficiaries, the stakeholders around the project. You also creating a sustainable project where even if the funding is not there tomorrow, or if you are not there in terms of operating in that community, is the in the community themselves take care of it, right? So this is something that a CSR or any funder is looking in your pitch, be it in terms of even if you are an NGO or a startup, or if you're looking for a VC fund, what is the kind of impact that you're creating in terms of the returns? So in social sector, we're talking about social return on investment, and then obviously in startups and for-profit sector, we talk about return on investment, right? So these are the things that helps you create a winning pitch for the proposal that you're creating for raising funds. Now, when we and a lot of organizations are confused in terms of what do we do, where do we start, because there's so much information out there, whom to rely upon, are we really genuine and all of that. But I think to start with, you just need to have a one-page document, a general profile about your organization, a deck which talks about what you do, your vision, mission, what are the programs look like, who are your supporters. A very important factor in a pitch deck is to have your supporters, as in funders who have supported you in the past. A tentative budget, as you know, this is the cost of supporting a girl child education for maybe 6th to 10th grade, right? So a tentative budget could help you, and then based on the meeting with the respective funder, you can decide mutually as what is the costing that aligns with both the parties. Identify 5 funders. Now, why I've written just 5 funders is because I want all of you to make sure that when you're reaching out to any funder, you do a thorough research about that funder. For example, if there is any corporate you're reaching out, I would suggest go to their website, access their annual report, CSR report, and see what are the areas that they are, what are the thematics that they are supporting, what are the location, geography in terms of they are operating in, what are the beneficiaries that they focus on, what is their funding look like, do they, that will also tell you whether they are doing a long-term association with the respective partners, it's just a one-time grant that they're giving out to the respective partners, or if it is, uh, you know, uh, what is the fund size, how much, then it will give you a clarity in terms of what is something that you can expect from them, or is there any scope of expansion of your existing funding from them. So that's why it is important. So focus on 5 funders first, do a thorough research, and when you're drafting an email, it's not that you don't have to send out. I have been receiving a lot of LinkedIn request with a generic uh, message saying, and they don't even bother to change my name, or for example, hi sir slash madam, and then send out about the work that they're doing, and that's it. So that is not how a fundraising mail or a message is written, or it is pitched. So as I told you, you have to do a thorough research, and then when you're drafting the email or a message, or even if you're pitch when you're meeting to somebody, it needs to align, and it also needs to state that you've done your research as in about what the organization is doing. So talk about that we see that so and so you and your organization is very active in terms of livelihood, supporting youths in getting them placed in mainstream jobs, and we at so and so organization are doing something similar, but for women, or but for students dropped out from school in so and so community, right? So that is something that we need to focus on. Um, so that is how you take and customize your email and a pitch that you're sending out, or even if it's a message. Team, do you have a team of experts, for example, be it on your board or in house, or even if you have consultants, does your team reflects the passion or the work that you're doing? Does it resonate with them, the experience of the team with the cause that you are working on? So that is something that, because they will bring in their set of expertise, skills, experiences in the past, right? And based on that, you can obviously with a small team also you can scale to having a good funding options for your organization. Few generic hygiene check that one needs to take care of while pitching or writing a proposal or fundraising. No generic proposals, as I just explained it to you in detail. No clear ask. These are something that one needs to avoid. You have to be very clear. Even if you have 5 projects, you have been working 5 thematics, you have to be sure about what is the in what is the corporate is doing. For example, if you're reaching out to any CSR and you pitch if they are supporting organizations in education, so you only pitch your education program to them and not other five programs, because it won't make sense and it will just increase the number of slides in your pitch or increase the number of pages in your proposal that you're sending out. So be very clear. Incomplete documents, that is make or break of any funding that you get. I have helped so many organizations, and at the very close of the closing the deals, we have just taken aback the funding from, or maybe not signed the MOU because their documents were not in place. Have your documents in place, have your audited balance sheets, have your IT reports in place, ATG, 12A, all the MOA, registration of your organizations in place. Very important. Have due diligence in place. If you've been doing audit, talk about it, put it up in your pitch as well. No follow-ups. That is a killing deal. A lot of organizations miss out on doing it. Is we send out a message or we send out an email, but there is no follow-up to it. Or maybe we have done it a couple of times and we just forget about it, or we think that it has gone cold and it won't make any difference. So that is something that is one needs to make sure is you don't spam the other person's inbox with your follow-ups. Rather, you be very strategic in terms of doing follow-ups. For example, if I sent a first introductory email to them, second email I'll send maybe next week talking about the recent achievements that we had or recent, challenges that we had overcome or we've managed to get, any awards or recognition that we have get. And then again, maybe ask for if we could, get on a call or, have an in-person meeting with them. So you have to be very strategic in terms of how to do follow-ups. Um, yeah, so I am done with my presentation, and yeah, I think we can take up questions.
Yes, yes. So we have, thank you so much for this, Bhagyashree. Very insightful session and short and quick, but we want to take in a lot of questions today. That's why we've deliberately and consciously kept it within half an hour. Okay, so now we are starting the questions. Shalin, do you want to unmute and ask the question yourself so you can give a very quick? So, a quick request to everyone here. We want you to maintain the 1 minute timeline for asking a question, and even Bhagyashree will keep it to 2 to 3 minutes, 2 minutes per person, so that all of us we can take in as many questions as we can today, right? Shalin, are you here? Can you unmute and ask, or do you want me to ask?
Yes, thank you, Madhavi. Hi, Bhagyashree. Thank you so much for the presentation. My question is with regard to finding more about grants and foundations. So there are websites online that list different grants and foundations that are active, but most of them have paid subscriptions, so it's very limited to use them. So I was wondering, how do you go about finding these opportunities? LinkedIn has proved to be a very good resource for me of late. So apart from that, how do you go about it? I have another question which I was just typing on the chat. Maybe I'll ask that later.
Sure. So very valid questions, Ellen. I think that's where there's so overwhelming information out there that one needs to be very strategic in terms of getting help from fellows, leaders or professionals in the sector. But I think there are a few websites that you can refer to. Is one is CSR Box, where there are a lot of grants that you can access, grant requests and updates that keeps on coming on the website. There's a website called Give, there is again a lot of information is there about the corporates who are giving out or who are very active in giving out CSR funding. So that's there, and also you have to see and test for yourself as in what works for you, as in what is your requirement. Are you only looking at corporates for funding, or you're also looking at government grants, um, or foundations, list of foundations? So then obviously Google is your best friend. Do as much research as you can. Go on, just it's not just you have to scroll through only first page. Go through second and third page as well and see what works for you. I think with the use of AI as well, if you use if you're using a paid version of ChatGPT or even of a general free version of ChatGPT, you can start your research from there. Perplexity is a great resource for research. So maybe you can start using and see if that works for you. Because I've seen a lot of organizations have started using AI also for their fundraising and basic research for uh, funding avenues.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Athira, you are here. Do you want to switch on your camera and ask your question? And unmute. Athira. Okay, we'll come back to her. Yes, who are the ones who've raised hand? Dipali, you'd want to go ahead and ask your question?
Hi, Ishan. Yeah, I had the same question as Adija had, so I just lowered my hand because I thought you would ask. My question is the same thing that so we are working in the plastic solid waste management. We have a process or technology ready to be demoed. So we were looking for pilot opportunities through CSR initiatives, and we have also listed down 2 or 3 major corporates who can have the EPR compliances to them, where they would be eager to have given a pilot opportunities to us. But then the question is that how do we find out the key person, the decision maker, and how do we approach to them? So that was a similar question that Athira also had, that how to find that person. The email ID or phone numbers is not given, but then because the decision maker is different, and just the available email ID and phone numbers and the contact details on the website is very different. So probably apart from AI and perplexity, if you have something more that you can research well some of the strategies, something like that you can focus on, shed some light on that.
So I think obviously you'll have to make a list of corporates who are giving out CSR funding. That is number one. With that, you will get to the respective CSR's website, right? If you get to know about the company, so here it goes. First, find out the list of companies who are giving out CSR. Then go to their website. Go to access their annual report in terms of CSR. What is the CSR annual report? There you will see who is the decision making, because they will be obviously mentioning the respective CSR head or manager, right? Like you as an organization are creating annual report for you. You do mention about the team members, right? The founder of the organization, manager, or anyone. So that's where you get the name of the person. Now, how to reach out to them is number one, obviously through LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a professional networking platform. You can reach out to them through that. There are other softwares which you can, there are other service agencies that you can get into, not agencies. There's this SaaS-based product, which is like Lucia, Rocketry, each, where they give you, when you take the subscription, or there are few free leads that you could take from them, credits. They give you few credits to take up access email IDs and contact numbers, right? So that is something that you could do. And once you get their email ID and phone number, it is easier for you to reach out to them. And then I've already told you how you can draft an email or a message to them. Yeah.